What's up guys, Chartsmith here, back again with a new video. Today we're taking a look at Zcash. I made a video about this yesterday and it has been blowing up. So make sure to watch this video until the end to get a good understanding of what is happening on Zcash right now and what is gonna happen next. Yesterday when I made the video we were at this liquidity point in a bit of supply where we could have rejected from. All scenarios I also pointed out, we are in a big impulse up, we can just pump through. All that happened, we pumped up for another 67%. So right now I want to look at some other possible scenarios we have. We can get rid of this liquidity hunt, get rid of this liquidity hunt, and we can get rid of this supply. If we look over here, we are in a bit of supply and I want to zoom in on it with you guys. And why? Well, if you zoom in a bit, you can see there is a consolidation there. And in this consolidation, we created a range. And in this range, we had a distribution which caused for a big thumb down. So that is a reason why I want to have this supply in my chart, and right now we are rejecting from this. Well, yesterday I pointed out 3 long POI zones. Of course they are still valid, but do you want to see a correction of 45% almost in the first POI and instantly get a reaction from there to trade higher? No, probably not. I will leave them in the chart for now, but I also want to look at some new zones to watch. Okay, we are just before some of our last liquidity before we're gonna get towards these swing highs. There's not really any resistance left here, not really any higher time frame resistance. Of course, if I zoom in, I see a lot of supply, but I want to look at higher time frame resistance zones which can be relevant right now. Well, if you look at that, they're already all tested away and there's nothing really holding us back apart from liquidity, and that we maybe need to fuel up at some point to continue the move, because a market can pump up like this if a lot of people are gonna start FOMO buying, etc., etc. Just pump money into the project. That isn't gonna last forever. So eventually the market has to cool off, take liquidity from the lows, and then look to continue the up move. Okay, knowing we are in a bit of supply, once again, if Zcash wants to pump through towards liquidity and the big swing highs we have to the left, it can. Okay, let's say we're gonna get some rejection from here because we created this range, which could give us a distribution towards the downside. If we are gonna tap into either our extreme supply right there, which is untested, or we're gonna take out the extreme liquidity. And of course, we can also make a second deviation, a third tap on our range outside of the range, like right there, to start a distribution. This will be a scenario I will be watching to trade towards the downside if we get confirmations, of course. Right now it isn't confirmed yet and we can still go higher. If you want to be updated in real time on this possible distribution on Zcash and other crypto charts, make sure to join the free Discord community down below. Where would I take this trade to? At least towards this demand we put in. You can make it a bit bigger by drawing in this, but that is just a refined zone. But you can of course use this whole block as support and take out all the liquidity we have been building up here. If we're gonna get this distribution or just gonna dump down, we don't have to make the distribution. And this local liquidity with this support right here isn't gonna be enough. Our next support zone is right here. Also with a lot of liquidity being built up under it, and that is why I left these other levels in my chart, because we can still use them. Let's get rid of the arrows right now because we have 2 other zones we want to look at. Normally I don't have this much demand zones on my chart, but with a big pump like this, you can't really clearly say where we can look for support. I think this is the most relevant zone, but of course you will have to wait for local confirmations. Okay, this is a short scenario. From there we're looking at this long scenario to trade higher. Of course it can go a bit deeper, but you get what I mean. And then this is our second zone to look at. The short can be really nice because we're building up a lot of trend liquidity on the low. So definitely something I'm watching in combination with this supply. And before I'm gonna end this video, I also want to give you this small supply. On the 1 hour you can see it. A pullback that should have brought us higher towards the high. We fill. From there we break structure towards the downside, giving us the play towards this distribution, and then we went lower. And we can see in combination with this local possible distribution that can be a great rejection zone for our lower time frame distribution. Okay, that will be it on Zcash for this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you're gonna take profits when we're gonna form this distribution. And if you were long, I hope either way you took some profits, because don't try to moon this. Please don't. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao.